You're looking for the smallest whole number that satisfies the inequality. Start by solving the inequality and take 3 off both sides. Divide by 5. Change it into a mixed number. The next whole number above that is going to be 2. So the answer is x equals 2. Be careful when you're doing this that you don't lose the sign as you're working through, like I did here. Question 2 is about forming an equation. Brian is x, Peter is 7 years older, that's 7, x plus 7, and Amy is 3 years younger, that's x minus 3. And that's the separate ages of the 3 people. Their total is 25. So add these together gives you 3x plus 4, and that's equal to 25. Solve the equation. 3x equals 21, so therefore x equals 7. Reread the question. Find the value of x, so Brian is 7 years old. Question 3 is just simply using the connection between the circumference, and that's equal to pi times the diameter. The diameter is 30, so the circumference will be equal to pi times 30. Using a calculator you can see the answer is 94.247777961. Choosing a sensible level of rounding gives you 94.25 centimetres to 2 decimal places. Question 4 is a 10% reduction for Gordon's prices. So you multiply the price by 0.9 and that'll give you the price after the reduction. Do that for all 3 items and then compare. The cost of Gordon's shopping is £4.47 to the nearest penny, that's rounded down. Adding the supermarket prices together gives you £4.29. So Gordon's is not cheaper, it's more expensive by 18p. Solve. Simply expand the bracket. 3 times 2p is 6p. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, equals 21. Add 15 to both sides, gives 6p is equal to 36. Divide by 6 gives you that p equals 6. This one, remove 3 x's off both sides, gives you 6x minus 11 equals 4. Add 11 to both sides, gives you 6x equals 15. And divide by 6, it gives you x equals 15 over 6. This is an improper fraction, so you can change it into a mixed number. 6 is going to 15 twice. It's 12 with 3 left over. 3 6. 3 6 cancels to a half. The answer is 2 and a half. Question 6 is a Pythagoras question. Even though the right angle is missing, I'm going to work it out using Pythagoras. It is 17 squared plus 11 squared. Square root the answer, and you'll have the missing side, which is a, b. Using a calculator and brackets, you can see the answer is 20.2484567.3. Now look for the amount of rounding you've got to use. It's 1 decimal place, so the answer will round to 20.2. It's the higher paper, so don't forget to put the units. Sam needs 7.5 litres of paint, so he will need 3 of the large tub. 2.5 makes 7.5, or 10 of the small tub. Now all you've got to do is the working out. Using a calculator you get £18.99 times by 3 gives you £56.97. That's the cost for the larger tin. Now do the calculation for the smaller tin. Using a calculator, the cost for 1 tin is £4.10. You want 10 of them, and then you multiply by 1.2 for your extra 20% VAT on top, and that gives you £49.20. The question asks, which shop should he buy the paint from? In this case, he should buy it from the shop Timberland, which is about £7 and a bit cheaper. So, saves £7.77. To calculate the volume of the prism, I'm going to work out the volume of the box and then work out the volume of the hole and take that away. Volume of the box is 9 times 7 times 8, which is 504. The volume of the hole, this distance is 3, this distance is 7, so that's 4. This distance is 8, and this distance here is 9. Take away the 5, which is a 4. So the volume of this hole is 4 times 4 times 8, which equals 128. The difference is 376 centimetres cubed, and that's the volume of the prism. For questions like these, you've got to work backwards. This is the price they sold the house for. You're told they made a 10% profit, so this value here is 110% of what they originally paid. Now going backwards, if you divide by 110, 1.10, you will get the original cost. Using a calculator, you can see that the original cost is 225454.54. So round it off to the nearest penny. That gives you £225,454.55. Question 10. This is typical of a reflection question. First of all, you've got to find the line x equals 2, and that's your mirror line. I've drawn it in here. Then you count the distance from the mirror line to the shape and go on the other side the same distance, that's 2. You've got to ignore the y-axis, it's just going to be stuck in the middle there. So that's 1.5 squares for the base, that's there and there, and then use a ruler to join them. And there you are, that's the reflected shape in the line x equals 2. I take a typical trial and improvement question. Start with the number 3, the number 4, then go 3.5 and work from there. This is what your answer will look like. Because 3.5 is too big, choose a smaller number. 3.3 would be a sensible thing to try next. 3.3 was just too small. Remember, I'm aiming for 33. 3.4 was too big, so we'll go in the middle. 3.35. Here it is here. And that's a 34.245375, which is too big. That's the search complete. Now we've just got to decide which of the answers is the best. Is it 3.3 or 3.4? Showed on a number line like this. I always label it. 3.3 was too small, 3.4 was too big. The one in the middle is too big. So the best number is somewhere between 3.3 and 3.35. Rounding to one decimal place, which is what the question asks for, tells you that 3.3 is the best one to use. That's your correct answer. So I've stated that answer here. For question 12, you need to use the formula V equals pi r squared, which is the area of a circle, times by the height. That will give you the volume of the cylinder. You also need to know that half a litre is 500 centimetres cubed. Putting these all together, along with the diameter is 12, should be able to create a formula that can solve to find the height. If the diameter is equal to 2 radii, so 1 radii is equal to half the diameter, which is 6. So putting that into the formula gives you this. You then have to rearrange to make h the subject, so it will be 500 divided by pi divided by 6 squared will give you h. Rearranging it makes it look like this, 500 divided by pi times 6 squared. Using the fraction button on the calculator, you can type it in and it looks like this. Pressing equals gives you the height, 4.420970641. Write this down and then check to see what level of accuracy is required. If no level of accuracy is required in the question, then you can go for 2 decimal places. Always remember to state the units.